Hey, welcome back to another episode from Life for Living Well. My name is Richard, and before I dive into the topic I have for us this week, I'd like to say if you'd like to know one or two things about Life for Living Well, or the article that we release every week, or the books that I'm working on, you can check it out on our website at www.lifeforlivingwell.com. Once again, my name is Richard, and let's dive into the topic this week. The title of the topic this week is what I call the benefit of practice. And I'm opening the podcast by using the word of inspiration from Philip Glass that he put it this way: you practice and you get better. It is very simple. Yeah, it's simple, but you have to wonder why many of us refuse to do that. Or we start practicing, and after some time we get distracted from it, or we move to another thing. Maybe we want to sharpen our knowledge in mathematics. We bought the book, but we never open it. Maybe we want to know little about the finances, and we really struggle managing our own finances. This takes practice. It takes practice to be able to set a budget every month and being disciplined yourself to follow this budget consistently, and before it becomes normal for you. And everything we do, it takes a lot of practice to make it happen. So this is the question. According to Philip Glass, it is very simple, but we don't. If you want to get better, we needed to embrace practice into our life. By the time I finish this podcast, I hope you will find one or two things from it, and you will be able to motivate you to get back to it again. So many times I've seen talents that fail because they refuse to work hard. You wonder how could someone that full of potential, maybe they are really good academically, they're kind of people that you just show them one thing and they grab it straight away. There's other kind of student that they need to repeat that certain few steps before you register into their mind or into their brain before they can really be confident about it. But we all people of different ability, but one thing that make a difference in every one ability is practice. Some people might need to just do 20 minutes practice. Some people might need to do 3 hours practice. So think of anything that doesn't require practice. If you want to learn guitar and you learn 2 or few notes and you constantly play it, with time you'll be good at it. And you'll be able to play without looking to your music notes. But do we have the attitude that can keep us going? Do we have determination that can make us go back to it every time? We live in a time that our attention is fighting so many things. We wanted instant gratification, and that also makes us sacrifice our practice. Even the religious people that follow religious practice or spiritual practice, they also practice it every day. So it becomes natural for them. So have you seen hard work fail before? No. I've seen hard work beating talent easily in many situations. Take, for example, biography of the amazing or talented players. The one thing you read about it is the sheer amount of time they invest in practice. Is it Cristiano Ronaldo or Pelé? When you read the book, you pick one thing out is the amount of work they put into what we love, what we see for a short period in 90 minutes. These are the things that they do for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. The same thing with a painter, the same thing with a writer. He didn't become a great writer one day. Study them, observe them. So the question is, how did they become better? A wise Chinese philosopher once said, do a difficult thing when it is easy. Practice. 1,000 journeys begin with a step. So you will not good straight away. You will not be the best straight away in whatever new area that you chose to follow. But as a result of your practice, then you should create confidence in you that if you stick around enough, you'll be really good at it. So, an individual with outstanding potential has gone missing and wasted as a result of laziness and procrastination. You've seen people that you bet it that if the way they take the maximum part or maximum effort or minimum effort to their potential, the sky is unlimited for them. They could get really well. And then you meet these people in a few years' time and they were confused and deluded about themselves and they lack confidence about their ability, and you wonder what has happened. It's because they just rely on talent alone and they refuse to work on their talents. Abraham Lincoln once said, if you give me 6 or 7 hours to chop the tree, I'm going to use 4 or 5 hours to prepare. He's talking about practice. If you have the exam in 2 months' time, don't wait till 3 days before your exam before you start reading and cracking. Create time now and spend, if it's only 1 hour every day, not just reading a chapter, understood it. You read in a way to understand. Practice. If you're doing a course that requires you to practice video accounting, video computing, practice write the code, dismantle the code. If you're writing a book, practice reading other people's work that you really like. Absorb their work and writing style. Embrace your own style on top of it. Practice. That's why no wonder people recommend that it's better to choose a career on something that you really love. It's fine. You just make it easier for you. You don't need the extra push to wake up in the morning or work late in the evening on it. But many of us will not have that chance, and you might need to choose a different career that earns you a living. And then you might need to develop and work on yourself to develop that skills. So, imagine an individual taking action of practice daily compared to an individual engaged in thinking without action. So, in few years' time, few months' time, which of these two people you think will have something tangible to show? Obviously, the one that practice daily, because they have more confidence to take action, or they have courage, because the courage is not the absence of fear. It's actually taking the action even when you feel the fear. So practice lead the individual to a peak where the person performs relatively beyond average. So through the observation of people from different walks of life and common animal behaviors, evidence shows practice improves our competence and enhances self-confidence. So, my friend, as you listen to me today, engage yourself in practice in whatever field that you chose to be. Not just say, oh, I've been doing my work for the last 10 years. I know what I'm doing. When was the last time you read something new about the same job you've been doing for 10 years? Is there any other better way you can do it? Can you maximize it for growth? So you have to prepare and be ready to do what the majority are not doing to achieve extraordinary results. So take the challenge. Imagine you work in the evening. So I'm challenging you to take a time. Just look up the sky. Or in the morning, look up the sky when the sky is clear. You will notice that the birds sometimes fly solo, or they go in groups. But what you don't notice is how much time they've been practicing their waves. They practice and do it. They do it constantly that it becomes natural, and it's so beautiful in the eyes to see. So what's the reason why some scientists spend more time in their lab or finding out about theory and others gone home? The same reason why someone will wake up 2 hours before their time in the morning to work on their own pet project, and that pet project becoming a business for them in the near future. Practice. Your practice could open many doors for you, could lead you to places that you never thought that you would be. Practice. I've seen individuals of average ability that have surpassed all others with great natural talents. People that are more educated than them, but they refuse to read their book, they refuse to work hard, and the people that with the less ability, with more attitude to practice, they did really well with their results because of their practice. So is there any area of your life you do like to embrace practice? So ask yourself this question. Do you want a change in your career? Do you want to change your relationship? Do you want to change in the way you handle the money? Practice. So almost every area of our life we can deploy practice mindset into. Yes, it could be harder in the beginning. The result and the benefit may take longer than you are willing to wait, but sure, the fruit is sweet. So let's say a few areas where you can see the benefit of practice if you actually embrace it and if you actually use it appropriately. You will begin to see not so distant the benefit of it. Number one, you will develop a self-discipline, because it is impossible when you know already. You don't ask why anymore. You wanted to do how, because you already know your how. So why become irrelevant to you? So self-discipline is something that just comes naturally. If you take that you wanted to do exercise an hour before you start your work, and you do it consistently for a few weeks, it becomes natural. And because you are so self-disciplined to this level, this also transcends into other parts of your life indirectly. That is the benefit. So when you make an effort to change one thing, what you don't realize that this cascades to other areas of your life. Some people that your friends or family will begin to notice these changes. So, financial education. What are the things that you need to educate yourself financially? Because majority of us didn't have this education. Growing up, we are qualified in different areas that we are. Even those who study accounting, they didn't really have a clue about financial education, because the partner thing and how your relationship with money works. But there's so many books, podcasts, seminar, self-education that you can do to bring yourself to study. It's not only just listening to this podcast or reading it, you also need to embrace the teachings into your life, and that's how you practice. And just imagine how once you know better, you do better. And the way it transcends into other parts of your life, it just reduces the stress about money out of your life, because now you know that your issue is not the money. Your issue is that you are not making enough, or you are not really good in managing what you have, or you cannot differentiate it from what you need and what you want, or you don't know how to set goals, be financial goals for the next 6 months, or the financial goal for the next 1 year, for the next 5 years. And if you don't set a goal, it's difficult to achieve or creativity or make things happen. So what about competence in your fields? You might not be the best brain in your field, but that doesn't let you out. You have an advantage. Practice. If that other people just need an hour, maybe you need 3 hours. Create that 3 hours to practice. And then you will begin to see the difference in your contribution to your work. You're taking imposter syndrome away from you. Friendship. You do not need to have thousands of friends, but if it's only 3, 5, 7 you could have, become friendly with them. To have a friend, it means be friendly. And then create the values that are more important to you. You've got to practice. You've got to be intentional about this thing. The majority of people are not intentional about anything. Relationship also require practice. Practice emotional intelligence. Practice compassionate. Practice whatever thing that you think you need more in your relationship, starting with yourself. Once you can give it to yourself, it's easy to give to others. But if you don't have it and you depend on it, you become toxic in your relationship, because you'll be demanding more than what you can actually offer to it. Above all, the benefit that comes from practice is growth mindset. So as I'm bringing this topic toward to the end, remember the true benefit of practice are enormous, and it will transcend across all parts of your life in a well-noticeable way. This thing cannot be hidden. You begin to be more aware of your strengths and weaknesses, most especially living a life of accountability, responsibility, and growing up, while growing old is inevitable. Practice often separates people that have experienced resources, so you can as well. Finally, this day it is easier with the right resources all around you. Only if you are willing to make that change. You can make use of your local library to find a mentor through their inspiring books, or buy one for yourself via Amazon. I believe iron sharpens iron. How? By minimizing your mistakes and optimize your knowledge, understanding, maximizing time and resources through other insight to the field that interests you. Your time here is finite, so use it well and wisely. You can achieve most things in 5 years if you set a goal and set a plan you practice daily with reasonable time assigned to it. Either you want to learn new skill, language, investment, career change, relationship, or above all, a better human being. I hope this podcast helps someone today. And until we meet again, please stay safe and have a wonderful week. Ciao.